Hello! Hi. It is that time of year once again where we check on the state of my K-pop collection. I know this is a video a lot of people look forward to. Years ago, by years I think I mean 5 years now. Oof. Oof. But yeah, 5 years ago, I think, I released a video where I pretty much vented about having a very ugly K-pop collection. And if you're new to this whole journey, I should have a playlist of the entire series. But you know, the idea was to like be open and vulnerable about having this like really ugly K-pop collection, because you see so many like really pretty and aesthetic collections online, and like I would love to have that collection, but I didn't. Too many albums, not enough space, and laziness. We can admit, lazy. Just like a little bit of a messy person. Oh, you caught me. But like I also thought doing that video would be good motivation for me, so I could have like this really cool, impactful before and after. Where like the before, oh, ugly collection, albums scattered everywhere. Then like, ooh, after, so beautiful, albums on shelves, so aesthetic, and never happened. I never had that after moment. Instead, every year, I just kept essentially releasing the same video, but it kept getting worse and worse and so much worse, because I kept buying more and more albums without putting them anywhere. You know, I buy more and more and more, but that doesn't help the problem of there is no space for them. So they just kind of piled up and up and up and up. It wasn't good. These piles and piles and piles were on my ping pong table. Then at some point they moved to the floor. And then I think like last year or 2 years ago, I started putting them in bins. And then eventually I started putting them in these doors. There's been quite an evolution of where I messily put these albums. None of it was the shelf. And then in like 2023, I gathered all the albums I intended on eventually displaying. These are pretty much just collections that I had. So groups where I had like essentially all their albums. I put them all into the shelves, but not in any way that was presentable. It was just like, just fit everything I possibly could. And you will see that later in this video of what that looks like. I just wanted to get them on the shelves, knowing that eventually I would go back and clean it up. I just never went back and cleaned it up. And I just kept buying more and more albums that would go on that shelf, but there was no room on that shelf. So then I had to like make cuts of like, okay, we're not gonna be able to display this group anymore because there's no room. But here we are in 2025, the year I've decided I'm not going to be a failure. This is the year my collection becomes somewhat presentable, okay? I'm not going to film this video this year, but tail between my legs. Sorry, I didn't get better this time. No. After all, I am unemployed, so like what else am I going to do with my free time, I guess? Might as well just clean. And there's not going to be like a dramatic reveal here in the video. Spoiler, I succeeded. I actually made insane progress this year. The ping pong table, spotless. The floor, well, there's no albums there. There's still going to be albums in the bins and behind the door. But they have to go somewhere, okay? And those are at least organized. They're out of the way. But we'll talk about that after like the big reveal, okay? And let me just say, this was a 2-week long adventure. Granted, I did like clean more than just like the albums. I did like the whole area I live, but whatever. The albums were definitely a huge chunk of that time. And to be honest, I'm still not really sure what I'm gonna do if I get more albums, because there's still no space. I still haven't solved that problem, but I am looking to get rid of a lot of stuff. I have been in the process of filming a collect or reject video, as I call it, where I essentially will go through my entire collection. I will pretty much say, do I continue to keep collecting this group or not? And what am I going to do with the albums that I currently have? Am I going to get rid of them? Do I keep them? It's going to be a very long video, I'm sure, because it's taken me quite some time and it's really difficult. I thought it'd be easy to go, nope, I'm not going to keep this group around anymore, but it's hard. And my opinions are changing constantly. Keep an eye out for that when that eventually comes. Would I love to be able to keep all the albums? Yes, but the problem is too many albums, too little space. I have to fix this. And to be honest, it'd be kind of nice to have some of the money back from some of those albums, because some of the albums, I'd be okay without them. Downsizing is healthy. But yeah, that's a future video. We're not going to focus on that right now. You are here for the current collection. What happened? So enjoy this nice little time lapse that I filmed where I forgot to adjust my camera settings so it's a bit flashy, but not like in the good way flashy, and like literally flashy. So apologies, but here you go. Impressive, right? I did it. I literally did it. The ping pong table is still clean to this day. Yeah. But speaking of the ping pong table, a quick little story time. As I've mentioned in many videos, especially in this series, I have been keeping a lot of albums on that ping pong table for years and years and years. And even before I was keeping stuff on that ping pong table, my sister was keeping stuff on the ping pong table when she lived in this basement. So that ping pong table, it's been used for storage for quite some time. I can't really remember the last time it's been fully cleaned off and stayed cleaned off. But I mean, kind of spoiler for like later in the video, I did put stuff like back on the ping pong table at some point. That's because like I needed to put stuff to like make room for other stuff. But the table is clear now. It is cleaned off. I cleaned off the table completely the day before I went on my big trip to Korea. Because fun fact, I was just in Korea for a short amount of time recently. Well, while I was in Korea, my dad had gotten new appliances for the kitchen. And if you aren't aware, I do live in a basement and the kitchen is right above me. And when they replaced the dishwasher, the pipe kind of like bursted or something and the kitchen flooded. And since the kitchen flooded, the water kind of seeped down through the ceiling and it pooled up on the ping pong table. Like, this was not drops of water. It was a ton. It has damaged our ceiling and everything. We have to get this replaced. But if I had not done all of this, if I had not taken all the albums off the table, I cannot begin to imagine the amount of albums that would have been damaged. Hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. Like, you guys saw how full that ping pong table was. I don't have a picture of the water that was on the ping pong table. I could get it from my dad, but I'm not gonna. I cannot imagine how devastated I would have been to come back from that trip to see that. Because I've been talking about cleaning this collection for like years now. And for like that to happen, that would have been a huge wake up call. I would have never bought an album again, which maybe that would have been the best for me. But I just can't believe that for years, that table has been full of things, of valuables. And then I finally take it all off. And then what? Needless to say, I don't really want to keep albums on that table anymore. So I'm going to try to be really good about, at least putting them in bins or behind those doors or on the shelves, just somewhere out of that area. I don't know, the whole thing has really got me thinking about just like how quickly I could lose all of this stuff. I don't know what I would do. But thankfully no albums were harmed or damaged in the making of this video. Yay. But yeah, that's the story time. Let's now take it away back to past me, who's gonna tackle those dang shelves. Oh gosh, the lighting here is terrible. The collection sort of, this is not all of it, but it's a lot of it. It's actually not a lot of it. This is where I would like to display my ults. I kind of have that right now, but it's not really like display worthy, as you can see. Everything's just kind of pushed in there. I have a lot more stuff now, and there's no room. I need to take some of these groups off to make more room. So I'm just gonna take everything off. I'm gonna try to make it somewhat presentable in some way. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I have so much stuff. I spent days cleaning up the ping pong table and it's filled again just from taking all that stuff off. So, some groups gotta go. They don't have to like go, but they can't stay here. And that makes me sad because I had some groups that I had decent collection stuff that I want to display, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. Not with this arrangement. So groups that can't stay. Les Seraphim, gotta go. aespa, nope. Kepler, unfortunate. WJSN, that one upsets me so much because that collection's so pretty. I'm keeping the top of the top right now. Who else was there? FX, gotta go. IU probably won't be able to stay. Hyuna can definitely go. CLC will probably go. Promise 9, God, that one. If I have room, I'll make Promise fit. I don't think I'm gonna have room though. And then I haven't even gotten over there yet. But New Jeans is gonna have to go. Is there anyone else? Oh, there's some new goos like Nature, CSR. They're not gonna be able to fit on these shelves for now. Still keeping the albums. That's the plan. I want to keep them, but so frustrating, man. Well, I gotta go put away the albums that can't fit on the shelves so I can make room on the ping pong table. This is such a long process. No one told me this was gonna be long. No one told me this was gonna be hard. I hope I have a beautiful collection to display at the end of this. Shy Guy, comfort me. You back to work? Bye-bye. Okay. It's pretty much all taken off. There's still chunky stuff at the bottom, but oh my gosh. So there were more groups to get rid of. I had Everglow, I had Idol, I had Big Bang, I had Luna stuff. Oh gosh. I've been putting stuff in the closet and the closet's like now full. So now I don't know what to do. I don't know where to put overflow stuff. Yeah, the ping pong table is completely full, but it's pretty much all the stuff that I want to keep back on the shelves, I think. I don't think it's gonna be possible. A lot of the big stuff, it's just gonna have to go somewhere else. Possibly this rack that I'm looking at, if I had to rearrange all that stuff, it has like all my anime and Lightsticks, and it's full, it's packed. So I gotta figure out that as well. And then I have jewel cases too. At least like jewel cases, all the jewel cases there can just go with all the jewel cases. Like they can be separated. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Right now, I'm gonna wipe down my shelves. Gonna put some more stuff in the closet. Be back. Hopefully to start actually thinking about what I want to do with the shelves, like where to put things. The fun part of all of this, because I'm still waiting for this to be fun. I thought this was gonna be fun. I don't understand how all of this fit on the shelves. And then there was even more stuff. There was more. The table's full. How? Okay. So, honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wing this. What I have done, though, is there's little baskets on the bottom of this one. So this shelf's in the corner. And Shy Guy sometimes likes to do stuff in this corner. Whether it's scratch things, sometimes pee right next to his litter box when he's in a bad mood. Dangerous corner. We have these little guys to hopefully protect things, because I would like to use that space, but I also don't want my cat to damage things that are expensive. I don't know. I'm really trying to think like what's the logic here? What group should go where? Because some of these collectors are huge. Red Velvet's freaking huge. I guess just kind of going in like priority. So like what groups 100% are going up here? Definitely Oh My Girl, Red Velvet. Really the women. Keeping the women. Might not be able to keep Triple S up here. I mean, that's fine. It's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really, 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 really hard. Like, what do I want to put in this middle shelf? Normally it's been Oh My Girl, but my Oh My Girl collection, compared to like Red Velvet, is a lot smaller. So maybe it'd be better to put down like one of these ones. I don't know. Shy Guy, what's your bud? You want to be on this shelf? No. And then I saw this thing that I'm looking at, and I do have shelves down there. Once again, dangerous territory because of him. Why do you damage the things I love? Okay, I should stop procrastinating. I should just like do this. This has been like 5 years in the making. Let's go. Let's finally have a collection on shelves that might look somewhat decent. It's still not gonna be like the best it could look because I just don't have enough shelves. That's just math. Mathematically, I don't have enough shelves, but are y'all ready for the reveal? Ta-da! Okay, I'll put it on a tripod. Voila! Yeah. There's more over there. We got the stuff back there. There's even a thing in my room. Let me walk you through it, why don't ya? Or why don't I? Why don't I walk you through it? So, starting off with Riize, this one is definitely one of the smaller collections right now because they are a new group. Still a lot of albums, but it wasn't too difficult putting them all there. This one's definitely going to change the most because they're dropping a lot of albums, and as of right now, I'm doing like all member versions, which is kind of insane to do. Also, I know someone in the comments is going to be upset about the boycott. I know, I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about that right now. And I'm pretty happy with this shelf because there's like not that many albums. I have like little fun guys, like, you know, it's just that, like this is cute, right? And let's move it on down to the first of the NCT Dream shelves. This is not, am I just gonna have to, okay, whatever. So NCT Dream is very big. So this is the first shelf. We got big albums, a lot of albums, big photo book stuff. I believe what I'll do is I will probably get rid of like these guys as more albums come, just because they're so big and they're photo books so they can go elsewhere. But overall, I don't know, kind of cute. And then below that is the other NCT Dream shelf. So this shelf doesn't have a lot of albums. It's a lot of photo books where you have the whole like Dream in a Dream stuff over on the left, over there by the Jaemin doll. More photo books over here, a lot of photo book stuff, some albums, some of the key, or all the Kino Kit stuff. So this shelf definitely can be adjusted if I get more NCT Dream stuff, which is good. And then below that are the season's greetings. So all the season's greetings of alts are here. As you can see, not really any more room for more season's greetings. It's a tight squeeze. And I do have a bin, just like over here. I have a bin that I put in front of this to hopefully protect them from Shy Guy. And so far he has shown no interest in them. And he also doesn't hop onto the bin, which is good. But let's move on to the next shelf, which you're getting some spoilers of right now. So the Red Velvet collection is possibly the greatest part of the collection. I think the most prettiest part of the collection. And it takes up many shelves. It's starting up above the shelf itself. You have some like the plushie guys, as well as some other kind of bigger items that just didn't have space on the main shelves. But then you have the first like main shelf, which is, you know, this guy. And it's a bit crowded. Things are kind of hidden. Because I have all versions of all their albums. So I have all the cake versions, and they're just kind of stacked behind each other. I have all the Shield Kill albums there. I got the Summer Magic limited edition ones. I have their solos. I got my Silky Troll doll. I have all the rookies. And just like, there's just other stuff. Like, it had to fit. Possibly one day they will just get their entire shelf of their own once there's space for that. It's a little tight. And below So then underneath that, some of their bigger sized albums, you know, like the big Queendom ones, you have all the Reve festivals. There's some Japanese albums behind the little Silgi shrine that I have going on. The mini Lightstick, the lip balm. I have so much Red Velvet stuff. And it's not over because there's a shelf below that. And here's, I guess, the tiny Red Velvet shelf. Some of the smaller albums, you know, the jewel case size stuff, it's random. There's really no like rhyme or reason into what went onto what shelf. Like, it's not like I have a solo shelf, which would be cool, but it's just not possible. We're just trying to get albums to fit. Not really sure what I'm gonna, oh wait, sorry, this bothers me. Not really sure what I'm gonna do when I get like my Silgi solo and when Irene and Silgi have their unit later this year. There's really not space, but I will figure it out. And then keeping up with SM, let's move down to Taeyeon. So thankfully, Taeyeon could fit onto one shelf. Very nice of her. It helps that a lot of her albums are essentially the same size. So I was able to do like a double stack column type thing and then display some of the other stuff. I don't know. I'm pretty content with how this came out. I do have some more like Girls' Generation stuff that I probably could have put here. I mean, I have the I Got a Boy Taeyeon cover, but I'm not sure if I'll keep my Girls' Generation stuff. So we're keeping it to pretty much just Taeyeon for the time being. I don't know. I'm pretty okay with this shelf. But I guess now we're gonna move below this, which is gonna be covered by another one of the big yellow bins. But if I move it away! But you can see this is a lot more just big things. It's a lot of the TXT stuff. Like, look at all this TXT photo book stuff. And once again, there is just absolutely no space for more. Hi, Shy Guy. But let's move on to the small little center shelf. So in the middle, we have the Oh My Girl shelves, because there will be two. And it's insanely cramped. I kept finding more and more Oh My Girl things as I was doing this. So like, you know, the 4th fan club kit is just so random. I don't really love it there, but I have no place for it. You know, I'm working with it. I think it's kind of cute to have some stuff displayed, like my signed Yubin script book thingy from that drama she did. I got my little standee. I even have my little VIP lanyard that I just got from going to their concert. It's a fun little shelf. And then take it down to see the other shelf. The lighting isn't great, but there it is. This shelf is pretty much all the Japanese stuff and all the like digipaks, jewel cases, polka versions, the Kino kits, and then I have my Secret Garden vinyl. I also have the perfume in there. That mug I got while I was in Korea when I went to a birthday cafe for Yubin and Yua. And I got some sandies and other stuff. And then the last shelf, which is not Oh My Girl related. At the very bottom is my wooah shelf. Wish I could do more with this because I have so many signed albums here, but I can't really display any of them. So I just have their debut displayed. I pretty much have signed copies of almost all of their albums. So that's why there's like a lot of duplicates. Nice and simple. I needed a nice small collection for the bottom shelf, and I think this worked out really nicely. And to the last shelf. Starting off with ITZY at the top. Up here, that's all the No Bad Days kits. But then we've got the main shelf with some of their bigger albums. So just all their albums. It's all album stuff. Got the signed Yuna card. I think I have signed almost all of them. You know, some of their standees. Unfortunately, I don't have a Leah standee, and you're gonna see that. So like, don't accuse me of OT4. The Leah one broke. I don't know what happened. It's very sad, but I have these ITZY standees, so figured I should display them. And then I got this like book lamp thing. I don't know, but I have it. We'll move down to the next ITZY shelf. So here we got more albums, the Big Crazy in Love albums, a lot of their kind of digipak, jewel case size ones, like cassette tapes. We have a signed Yeji thing. What I'll do to make room for more albums, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure I can figure something out. I think there is room that can be made on this shelf. The other one is pretty full. But let's move down to their little sister, NMIXX. So I don't love the NMIXX shelf, I'll be honest. It is very, very stuffed. I don't know how many versions I'm gonna get of some of these things. Like with the FE 304 albums, like I started getting all the versions of that and then I stopped because it was hard. So I'll probably not have all of them. Like I don't have all the limited edition ones, but they are stacked. Like there's multiple of these guys stacked there, which is, you know, a spoiler for the big haul video that has not come out yet. I've got more albums behind the Taeyeon digipak, but I have that on display at the moment. This shelf will definitely change in the future. I just don't know how. That's still not all the NMIXX albums, because there's some on the shelf below, as well as some other stuff. So let's do that. So I've got the limited canvas versions of Asparago, and they're all there. They're just stacked behind each other with Taeyeon's displayed. I don't like love that it's separated from NMIXX, but there was just no room for it. And ideally, probably would just have like 2 NMIXX shelves. I wanted to have Triple S up here. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to have Triple S up here because there's no space for them. It is packed. I have so many signed copies of Triple S albums. Like I pretty much have signed copies of like all the subunit stuff up to Visionary Vision. I didn't get signed copies. And then I have the OT12 signed copy of Assemble. I've got Soyeon's and Yooyeon's water bottles there. And I also still have Soyeon's The Face photo book, which just isn't even here. That is somewhere else, but there's just no space for it. But that's pretty much it for these shelves, except below that are the bins I talked about earlier. So these bins, there's nothing special to them, but they have a lot of the jewel cases and digipaks. So that's all my jewel cases, except for some of the alt stuff. And then we have the digipaks. So there's just so much. Oh, go back in, go back in, go back in. And this is just like, I don't know, boxes, some other chunky stuff that just didn't fit anywhere. It's, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then in addition to that, we've got my other shelf. At the top, we have Lightsticks, and these are like stacked. Behind the Lightsticks are more Lightsticks. And it's like 3 rows of that. Not ideal, but it's what I've got to work with, and I did not realize how many Lightsticks I had. Underneath that, some like overflow stuff, like some other season's greetings and photo book stuff that I don't know if I'll end up keeping. I've got my Nana manga, some Sailor Moon stuff, chunky stuff in here. Like, this is more Sailor Moon stuff. I have some like light stick accessory stuff. I don't know. And then below, even more Sailor Moon stuff. So I got like my Vans, the little soda things. I got my baseball, some figures, all the different versions the manga has released as. A little cat thing. So much Sailor Moon stuff. I would love to have like a real shelf for this, not this janky little shelf thing that I got going on, but we work with what we got. We have the Espa Crocs peeking out. But here we have some bins. So I have an empty bin there that I can put more stuff in. A bin full of, I think, like fan signed stuff. So it's a lot of like duplicate albums. And there's another bin even below that with more fan sign album duplicate stuff that I need to get rid of. And then I have this big cat picture thing. I think there's some stuff I'm hiding behind there. It's not really important. That's the big anime shelf. Except there's more anime stuff, actually. I don't really know how to film this, so I'm doing the best that I can here. We have some anime stuff here. I got Death Note, some DVDs, and a little Back to the Future corner. Above that is the more important stuff. Up here, there's this little Korean book I found where it's about like a black cat. And, you know, it's a Shy Guy. And then there's a little Shy Guy figure with a Shy Guy figure. Owl Haru Ride, manga, as well as some DVDs, Paradise Kiss. I've got my sports almanac signed by Michael J. Fox, because I'm a big Back to the Future fan, if you didn't know. And then over on the right, we have my SMinis. I've got them on like a little jewelry holder thing, and it spins. Ooh. Unfortunately, it can't hold that many SMinis, so I will probably need to buy another one because the rest of my SMinis are like in a box. But I thought it was a cool way to display them. I had originally hoped to put them on top of the big shelves, but it actually didn't fit. So it goes here now. But there's still one last shelf to go over, so let's move to the bedroom for the really small shelf that's randomly there. Alright, there's not a lot of room in here, so I'm gonna have to hold the camera, so I apologize for a lot of shakiness. Here's where the TXT stuff is, if anyone was wondering. They got put in here. It helped that a lot of consistent sized albums, which is nice. Granted, it was still really tough, and I would like to have like a real shelf for them because I have all those photo books and stuff, but all the albums are here. Oh, my little Wootsies. They don't have a place to go. But then below them, I was able to put in WJSN, which was really exciting to have them on a shelf. I don't love the location of this, but we make it work. And I'm still missing some WJSN albums, so this was a good way to see that. Some of it carries onto the shelf below where Promise got a place to go, and they have the bottom two shelves. So happy they had shelves to be put on because I love these collections. Can we all get some boxes in the chat for my hard work? So we got the shelves. Where are the other albums? Well, they're in the bins and there. And a bit of a mess back there. A little tight on space. I kind of have a system in place of like which piles are to be sold and which ones are to be kept. It's not pretty. I understand. And I've got like 3 bins of albums to sell at least. Doing some quick mental math, I think I have like 500 plus albums I'm looking to sell. Which is insane. But I am looking to kind of track all of that, maybe make a video kind of documenting how much money I was able to make doing that. We'll see. But now where do we go from here? Well, as you saw, there's not a lot of shelf space left. I mean, thankfully, a lot of these groups don't do a ton of comebacks a year anymore, with some exceptions. So some of those shelves shouldn't be growing much more. And like, I guess I have places I can maybe figure stuff out on. Like, I have some other shelves, but they just have other stuff on them. Like, I have one of like my vinyls. I've got like some books, some office supply stuff. I could figure something out, I'm sure. And then I actually just have more K-pop stuff that I haven't shown in this video. Like, I got pickets and magazines and just like that kind of stuff that's just kind of like stowed away. Like, they're not even in there, I'm pretty sure. They're like but I don't know, that might be something I have to figure out when I'm no longer living in this basement. That's what I've been telling myself for 5 years now. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to grow this collection anymore. I don't see myself buying anything from newer groups that I haven't already been buying from. Well, who knows? I can't speak for future me, but I feel pretty confident in that. Because, I mean, even for the groups I do collect, I've kind of slowed down on some of them. There are some groups I was buying, like, literally everything for. Like, every Japanese album version, kind of stopped on that. I stopped doing, like, every member version for a lot of these groups. I do not really buy all the season's greetings anymore. TXT, oh my god, TXT is dropping something, like, every month that isn't an album. And, like, I can't do it. I can't keep buying deco kits and what other kits and photo books they're selling. It's just too much stuff and it's so expensive. But really, the focus now is to start selling the stuff I'm not planning on keeping, and anything that I do buy, keeping it off that ping pong table. And yeah, that's the update on the Ugly Collection 2025 edition. I guess it's not so ugly anymore as long as you don't open that door. But at least that ugly is hidden. I'm actually very interested in what the state of all this will be in a year from now. I think for the first time, I actually would like it to all be the same, except for this. I hope this time next year I've sold a lot of this. Would be very interested in hearing the states of y'all's collections. Can anyone relate to my story, my journey? Oh, but look at the time. I gotta go. Have a lovely time of day wherever or whenever you are. It is currently 8:25 p.m. for me. Bye-bye.